Well, why don't we talk about retirement? I started retiring at various times in my life. I was self employed as a addictions and mental health therapist in private practice, and I had made enough money, don't want to brag about this, to where I could have stopped at 55, 60, 65. But what did I do? I'll tell you why I did it. I kept on because I printed 1,000 cards, business cards at a time, from a place called what do they call themselves? They're advertising on the radio all the time. Can't think of it, but I could get 1,000 business cards for $20, and I'd redesign them every time. When you realize that I've been here in town for around 30 some years, you're going to understand, and I've been in the mental health field since then. You can understand when you hand out a card to someone, some of them don't throw it away. Some of them give them to friends. Some of them keep them forever, and the phone calls keep coming in. So whether I was going to retire at 50, 55, 60, 65, or older, the phone calls came in. And I couldn't say no. Well, let me tell you why I couldn't say no. I was one of the only people that would see people with drug problems. You ever heard of a drug called crocodile? Look that up. It it doesn't start with a C. You got to start it with a K. But look up crocodile starting with a K. Look at it on a computer, and you'll see the most horrible drug that's been created, because it eats not only the inside of the body within a year, it eats the outside of the body for a year, and it also eats away the skin on your body to the bone in some cases. And if you look on YouTube for crocodile starting with a K, you'll see them in a medical facility having their arms, at least the last time I looked, having the skin of their arms scraped off down to their bone. One real pretty girl. Yes. Okay, I'll be there shortly. Thank you. We're going to the doctor's office tomorrow, and over an hour away, hour and a half, and uh, she was nice enough to get my suitcase ready. I don't have crocodile. This one girl had skin off of her face on one side, and the other side it was perfect. It hadn't torn the skin off of that. It showed in some of the YouTubes. It showed crocodile actually being cut away by the doctor down to the bone. They're saying, Jim, are you telling the truth? Well, I've been in the mental health field since way before I moved here. I don't know, was it 1971? This crocodile is a replacement for methadone. I mean, not methadone, but the other bad drug. Methadone's not a bad drug. It tries to get you off. It attempts to get you off of heroin and opiates. Methamphetamine. It's a methamphetamine designed by Russia because they didn't have the great ingredients we have here to make that drug. Okay, I had other people come in with lesser frequency. I want to say lesser, not frequency, but lesser impact. They'd come in. I don't remember the drugs now. They'd come in with their parents. Parents would drag them in. One of them said, I'm not coming back to see this guy because I'm turning 18 next week and you can't make me come back. And she was buying directly from the dealer. Now, these were designer drugs. Designer drugs are not pills like Darvocet, Demerol, Loratab, Oxycontin, or any of those. Those are bad enough if you take enough. I wouldn't advise it at all. I'm not advising it because I know the end result. The end result is they're going to end up in the hospital and they may die before they get to the hospital. But these designer drugs are so powerful that as people sitting in front of me talking during a counseling center session, they will start looking out the window, paranoid that someone's breaking into their car, over and over. Of course, me being like I am, I said, well, what's going on out there? People's out there surrounding my car. I'm afraid they're going to break in. So, well, if that's really bothering you, we'll call the police. Well, don't do that. I've got charges on me. I've got drug charges on me. Well, I said, let's not do it then. We'll just let them take your car away, whatever you want done. Well, finally, enough wears off to where they go to the car and leave. Never see them again. So those are the types of things I did in retirement. And the reason I saw them after I sent out retirement letters at 55, 60, 65, 70. The reason why? Nobody else. We got 2 community mental health facilities here. We got a lot of people in private practice. Somehow or other, they didn't treat them right if they went to them. But I was known. I had my own building. I was known to see anyone with a drug problem. And I was known to know how to help them by instruction of what to do or what hospital to go to for rehab. And the other people, and I don't want to badmouth people. I was young once. And these people in community mental health facilities, a lot of times they get them right out of their master's degree and being licensed. No, sometimes not being licensed. They have to be supervised for a few years before they can get licensed. I supervised a lot because I had the licenses to do that. But not for substance abuse. Very, very, very few people would see people like I'm talking about. So why am I 76 now and still see a person or two? Because those cards I bought by the thousand. I kept hanging them out. I would give some people 2. Do you know why? For a friend, if they had a friend. I saw people for free. I told someone the day, they'd say, what's one of your memories of seeing people for free? I said, a girl that brought me a donut from a gas station she worked at. And I saw her free. I think she was in trouble on parole, or I saw a lot of people on parole. I saw a lot of people on probation. I treated them nice. That's why they came to me. I treated them nice. They'd go to other counseling centers and they wouldn't be treated that way. They'd be criticized. They'd be blamed. Yes, I treated them nice. I talked as long as they wanted to. It wasn't 45 minutes like the other counselors did and kick them out. Said they got another appointment. I usually allowed about 2 hours because he didn't accomplish much in 1 hour, and he started making progress in helping the person in 2 hours. Seems like no one else in this town realized that. And possibly throughout the United States, they don't understand 1 hour, 45 minutes is not enough. That's what they call an hour. They call it a 1 hour, 45 minutes is 1 hour. So the other 15 minutes, you can go to the restroom and you can write a progress note. Mine was different because I worked by myself and we took the time we needed. And I hope I helped a lot of people. I know some of them became preachers because they had a conversion experience after they went into rehab or jail. Some this one case, person went to jail for a few years, got 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 religion there, came back and started a church. A second person that was stealing pills that were narcotics, and even, I hate to say it, but he was, I won't tell you what degree he had because it was so high, much higher than I could have gotten. But he got caught stealing pills over and over, and they were photographing him going into the pharmacy department. And he was sent to me to get his license back to work. And it just didn't work. He continued stealing from wherever he could. People he had seen in his practice, he would stop by and stop in their restroom and take their pills. Where he got caught was a drugstore here. Took a chance and said, well, you know what a lot of these people need as far as pills. Why don't you tell us what they need, and we'll go ahead and package it up for them. And then I heard it straight from the owner. He caught him stealing their pain pills and sent him to prison. When he came back, he became a preacher. Got converted. Got converted there, and in prison. I'll stop here because we're rambling on toward 19 minutes, and you've got the gist. You got the gist of my why I didn't retire when I should have or when I could have, and why I stayed on, and why I saw people without money. Yeah, I didn't mention that. If a person didn't have money, I still saw them. God bless you. Have a good day.